It was an initial arrival, but on my second trip, a ring road that inevitably took us round and round until a conglomerate of cars could be seen, with people frantically unloading suitcases and items, a signal of our destination, a beacon of brown brick with a cream trim, an inconspicuous entrance, a back door, a side gate, a single lift, ascend, but to descend soon after, and repeat. It doesn't feel like home yet, but it will. The entrance becomes more than a thoroughfare, a place to stop, chat, and smoke, a place to converse, even momentarily, a space to meet, a space to wait, a space to return every night. 11 bodies, 11 minds, and 11 personalities. The pink house was more famous than its occupants. The creative house, the party house. Harmonious living can be tested in such close proximity, with house politics usually taking hold at some point in time. And it did. Heading to Spike, but first a gradient downwards, a hill that you'd have to put your brakes on sharpish. Tensed fingers, clutching the brakes, a screech that echoes between the buildings. A green triangular bridge with wooden slats. As you reach the bottom, you manoeuvre your way through the bollards, down a slope, and round the second set of bollards, and across the bridge. The rest of the journey was straightforward. Upon entrance, living room to the left, stairs on the right, kitchen and my room down the corridor. The living room sofas had become sunken, slightly tattered, but a few cushions and throws rejuvenated them once again. How many students had sat on these sofas over the years? Eternal and endless cream walls, with nothing on the walls. Bicycles in the living room. A temporary abode, but was certainly more than a place to sleep. Greville Park was like our new Queen's Park, a park that would entice us on a warm day, and even more so after finishing a deadline at Spike, or picking up some results from Bauer. A few tinnies and our shoes off. A sense of occasion, a congregation, a celebration. Greville sat central with multiple backdrops from any angle. Motorway to the north and west, terraced houses and Bristol City Football Stadium to the south, with a sort of grassy hill to the east. We had a spot. It was never discussed, but it didn't matter who got to Greville first. We always ended up in the same spot. Bristol Diving School. The place where everything happened and sometimes nothing. Somewhere that had an eeriness when alone in the building. I would lay on the futon in the office, eyes closed, trying to drift. Rain pounding the corrugated roof. A sound that always seemed amplified. The volume so intense, sleep was more or less impossible. My time at diving school was as much about being there as it was me trying to find somewhere to sleep. I had a group of friends who were kind enough to regularly lend me a sofa or a floor. I would rotate amongst them to make sure I did not become a regular burden rather than a fleeting guest. My studio space at Spike, which primarily remained empty for my duration, was the occasional welcomed break from the diving school. There was always a coldness in the air at the diving school, which would gradually diminish at an event, as more people would congregate, move, or dance, depending on the situation. The performance was happening. The decision was made. I packed my bag with a few clothes, an alarm clock, and a few other items. There was no furniture in this room, as I was unsure how long I would be here, but I still knew where everything was, the corner for that stuff, and that corner for that stuff. I left the house and needed one last meal before heading to Arnolfini. I walked down East Street and popped into a local cafe Extra large full English with a coffee for a fiver. Perfect. Once finished, I slowly ambled with a full stomach to Arnolfini.